Well, hello everyone. It's Angela with Treasure Trove Tarot, also known here on YouTube as Mystic Moon. Welcome to my second channel and welcome to a Witchy Wednesday reading. So we are really going to focus on the blue moon, supermoon, full moon in Pisces that is occurring this evening. So just take what resonates for you and get rid of anything that doesn't. All the decks I'll be using will be listed down below. How do you guys plan on spending this evening? I know what I'm doing. Mr. Moon and I are going to take advantage of this beautiful weather here in Arizona, and we are going to be moon bathing tonight in our pool. So that's how we're going to absorb all of those amazing lunar rays. Anyways, let's jump right into the messages, you guys, and see what we need to know. But I guess first what I'll talk about is what is a blue moon. A blue moon is a full moon that happens twice within a month. So we had obviously a full moon at the beginning of this month, and now we have the second full moon. So that's why it's called the blue moon. And apparently this happens about every 2 to 3 years. So it is somewhat rare. And then this whole supermoon energy, it's just everything's going to appear that much closer. And there's something that happens gravitationally. Is that a word? I'm not scientific, so I'm not going to go into that, but there is something going on with that. But the Pisces energy is very psychic, very dreamy. So this is a great time to tap into your intuition, your dreams, etc. So that's going to be supercharged. You might be feeling somewhat emotional or maybe even nostalgic this evening. But of course, this full moon is about transformations, change, and new beginnings. So it's a very powerful time for us to set our intentions, release any negative energy, but also to manifest things that we want to bring into our lives. So that's kind of the gist of this full moon. So let's just go ahead and jump right in and see what we need to know about this full moon energy. Let's look at this. I'm going to start off with, this deck here. This is called the Seasons of the Witch, the Samhain Oracle. Just kind of see the energy here for this full moon. We have rebirth. That's so amazing, you guys. I love this. It says, there's death in all that awakens, for it isn't blissful nor painless. It's a mighty rising, O flame resurrected, phoenix rising from the ashes, you guys. That's so cool. So there is something here that we are going to transition. We're going to let something go. It might be that you're feeling called to use fire as some sort of a delivery. So you might be burning something, sending something up in smoke, releasing something through fire, something like that. So that could be something tonight where you guys are really drawn to working with fire. And I feel like this will definitely be a very powerful energy to work with. So this particular deck is called the Mary L. Tarot. Let's go ahead and get some details on this rebirthing energy. Oh my gosh, you guys, I can't believe it. I mean, I can, because Spirit is amazing like this. The Death card to go with this Oracle card. Death is rebirth, So Scorpio's energy. So we've got Pisces and Scorpio coming through. So this very much is watery energy. This is about our maybe emotions, cleansing, even like psychic energy. We're clearing, cutting cords, something like that. Maybe there is something in your life that you just know that you need to let go of. You're ready for change. You're ready for a whole new way of living and being. And I just feel like this energy is very heightened for you, especially right now. And this is the perfect time for you to let go. So that way you can open up new doors in your life. It's amazing. Let's go ahead and get another card. We have nature spirits. Oh, I love this. To me, it's about being outdoors. And that's just what I'm being called to do, is to go outdoors this evening. So it doesn't mean you have to, but if you can, really get under that moonlight. Look at the moon. Feel the vibration. Feel the energy. Just look up at the stars, because I just feel like that's where you guys need to be tonight, is out in nature, outdoors. Really just experiencing this full moon vibe. Knight of Swords, Gemini's energy, Mercury energy. I know that Mercury is currently in retrograde. So sometimes what can happen is there's either miscommunications, problems with communications, maybe even being nostalgic with someone from the past. What I'm actually getting, you guys, is that, follow your intuition. You can see this owl here. Follow your intuition when it comes to something. Your spirit animal is the owl. I love this. This particular ring was given to me by my daughter just the other day. She knows I love owls. Look at how cute that is. So I always identify with the owl as my spirit animal. It's not my only spirit animal, but it's my main spirit animal guide. And I'm always, looking for, when it comes to my intuition or making decisions, I use the wisdom that I have gathered throughout my experiences. So sometimes what we want to do isn't always something that maybe we should do. So just be wise when it comes to your decisions. Sometimes letting nature take its course. Sometimes what that means is that we just step back and we see how things flow. It's not always about taking action. So I feel like when it comes to a choice, because this is Gemini's energy, we may want to do something. We may feel compelled to do something. Just listen, let your wisdom be your guide. Try not to let your emotions run the show right now, because it's very emotional. Pisces is ruled by Neptune, and sometimes Neptune can be a little wishy-washy. It can be a little dreamy, and it's great for some things, but when it comes to making decisions, especially decisions where maybe you're not sure about something, it might not be the best time to make a decision. And of course, Mercury retrograde, sometimes we are asked to take like a back seat and not take action during that period of time, especially when it comes to communication. So maybe just allow spirit to speak to you this evening, allow spirit to guide you, speak to you through just wisdom, and just absorb the energy this evening rather than making any kind of crazy choices, whatever that means. Now, she is laying in a bed. So I feel like there's something that's going to come to you in your dreams. So it doesn't mean it has to come right now, like this evening. But there is something that's going to be revealed to you in a dream, and it might even come through as an animal. So really pay attention when you wake up, journal, write something down, because you know how you always kind of forget your dreams throughout the day, and at least know I do. When I wake up, it's like real powerful, and then it just starts to dissipate, and it sucks. So you got to write these things down. Write down what you see. Write down what you hear. Write down, oh, this is so cool. You know what? These floating candles. It's a sign I need to get them. I keep seeing these things because, I do the whole Halloween TikTok thing, and there's like these Harry Potter floating candles, and I'm just seeing a trend right now where people are like buying them and they're hanging them up, and this just confirms to me that I need to get them. So yeah, go figure. But there's floating candles here. And I just feel like there's just something that the way is being illuminated. We are actually being given some sort of spiritual guidance. We're being given some sort of an answer. And it's up to you to use your wisdom to discern what to do with this information that you're going to be given. That's what I'm getting. All right. We have protection. Oh, I love this. You're being protected. Your ancestors are coming through. Passed over loved ones on the other side are also coming through. In September, it's like, we're crossing over to autumn and fall, and that's when the veil starts to lift for the spirit world. And so it's a great season to get into contact with your ancestors and your spirit guides and, just spirits that are on the other side. So I just feel like there's something coming through here. It's very powerful. You're being protected. I mean, you're being protected always, but you're being protected as you move forward and make certain decisions. That's what I'm getting here. This might also be a good time for you to protect yourself. So if there is any kind of, toxic energy or toxic people in your life, this might be a decision that you make to cut this out and to just go your own separate ways. So this could be a very cleansing, purging type of energy here, like a banishing type of energy. I'm banishing this from my life. No harm, but I don't want this anymore. I can't have this in my energy field any longer. So it's a cleansing energy. Okay, so we have the Ten of Wands. Interesting. You know, the Ten of Wands is a card where we've reached the end of the road in a particular cycle. Some sort of energy has become way too stressful, way too burdensome. It's time for us to drop the burden. So the fact that, you know, the knight is actually on an owl here, which is cool, but the traditional knight usually is on a horse. So I feel like when it comes to some sort of a decision, you guys, the decision that you're going to make is to trust the vibe. If you feel overwhelmed, if you feel sick, if you feel just like it's something is toxic, that's what you're supposed to rely upon to make this decision. Try not to rationalize bad treatment or make excuses for bad behavior, especially when it comes to other people. You know what feels right for you. So if something feels off, I feel like that's kind of, you already know what to do. You already know what to do. Okay? You're already being given this, like your body has natural compass. So if something feels off, that's your body's way of telling you that you shouldn't go down that path or something isn't right for you. So that to me is the answer that's being kind of revealed to us at this time, is that something feels off and it's because it is off. So trust that. Try not to rationalize it. Try not to make excuses. Try not to explain certain things away. Okay. So that's just what I'm getting here. You're being protected. It's almost like some maybe type of rejection right now could actually be for your own divine protection. And that's how Spirit is working with you guys at this time. Oh, it's so beautiful. I'm getting chills. Okay. So that's our first message. Let's go ahead and go into some more. This particular deck is called the Divination of the Ancients. So what we're going to do is we're just going to see if there's any kind of divination tools that we could be working with during this period of time, things that will help us to kind of get in touch with our intuition, or just things that we should explore. Okay, I love this. Thunder and lightning power. So this is about nature spirits. And it's so funny because just the other evening, I was outside with Mr. Moon and my stepson, and we were looking in the clouds at night. And it was kind of monsoony. So there was like this, you know, obviously the moon is almost full at this point, and it's illuminating the clouds that were just like kind of dark and gray. And we were able to see so many amazing things in the sky. It was just like a form of scrying, in my opinion. You know, certain shapes, certain things that you're seeing, it means something. So I feel like there's some kind of power in nature right now. Being out in the elements is going to bring you some sort of refreshment, but it's also going to connect you to your power. Now we have, you know, like thunder and lightning is storm energy, right? So some of you guys are also even being asked to collect storm water. I know that there's all kinds of different weather, you know, like I think in Florida right now, there's some sort of a hurricane that's trying to come through. I'm not trying to say like, oh, go outside and collect some water during a hurricane, but it might just be that there's certain things that are very powerful like that. Nature is a very powerful spirit. There could be some things that are kind of left over that are from that catastrophe that you might be able to use in order to amplify your rituals or your magic. So that's a message that's coming through. So divination or just magic, kind of the same thing here. This will help you to, you know, really give some power to your rituals or your spells. That's very cool. All right. So this is called what is this called? I think it's just called the Witch's Tarot. Ooh, Page of Swords. So the Page of Swords is delivery. Page of Swords is delivering a message, but it's kind of cutthroat. So it's basically like a seriousness. I'm serious. So I do feel like this thunder and lightning, or this chaotic nature energy that you might be tapping into, is really going to help you to, like, you know, you're going to put like your boundaries. You're going to lay some boundaries. This is a protection spell. This is I'm cutting something out spell. You're using some sort of powerful nature items. So some natural items from nature that have a lot of power connected to it. And some of this power could be chaotic. So I don't know what that means for somebody out there, but do some research on that. So one thing that I do know is like collecting storm water. That can also be something that you can use in your rituals that contains very powerful energy. But there's other things too. So do some research on that. But there's also something about, I mean what I say. I'm communicating. This is what I'm saying. This is my boundary. This is me being authentic. This is me speaking my truth. If you're dealing with people that like are just kind of trying to steamroll you, or they're trying to kind of like overpower you or like overtalk you, there's something that you're doing. Maybe you're wearing a protection piece. You're doing something where you're protecting yourself, or you're taking a stand in a situation. So definitely do that research and figure that out. We have footprints, direction. Ooh, footprints. Okay, so whenever I see footprints, it always reminds me of Christ energy. So some of you guys might work with Christ energy. Not everybody does. Christ definitely is one of my spirit guides that I work with. But footprints, it's a poem, okay? It's about knowing that you're protected, having that faith that you are safe, having that faith that you're being carried. Not that spirit is doing all of the work for you, but we're doing it together. This is like co-creation energy here. But when it comes to the direction that you're supposed to take, where you're supposed to go next, there is something that's being revealed to us. And I did get this earlier, and it may not make sense at first. It's going to require your wisdom. It's going to require your wisdom to discern the answer when it comes to something that either you want to know or some sort of confusion right now. That's what I'm getting here. Something is already with you, but you haven't seen it yet, or you haven't completely opened your eyes to the answer yet. With the Emperor. The Emperor's Aries energy, you guys. Very powerful energy. Of course, this could be, what do I do with my divine masculine? What do I do in relation to this connection? That could be for some of you. Just take it if it resonates. But the Emperor is all about power. The Emperor is very masculine energy. It means we're taking a stand. We're back in our power. We instead of following someone else, what we're doing is we're creating our own way. So I feel like there's some sort of a ritual or some sort of a spell or some sort of new way of being that you guys are going to adopt here, or that, you're in the process of transitioning into this more powerful vibe, taking some sort of control of your life. He's also in armor, so to me, it's about protection. We have to protect ourselves. Sometimes the way that someone else is going isn't the way we want to go. Do we really want to follow this person's direction? Do we really want to go where they're going? If something inside of you is telling you, no, I don't want to do that, you need to pay attention to that. So to me, that is a form of divination. That's your intuition. You don't need cards or a reader or even this reading to tell you. You already have this naturally inside of you. So this is about trusting what you're feeling, your vibes. Trust your vibes. That's the message I keep getting for you guys. That's the divination here. And we have coins, abundance, fantastic. So this, of course, could be work related. What direction do I go in next? Where do I invest? What do I do? Some of you guys may want to work for yourself. So that's some kind of information that you're getting right now, that wherever you're going next, whatever path you decide to go on, you're actually creating your own legacy here, is what I'm seeing here. You're creating your own abundance. There is going to be some sort of a payoff with you empowering yourself or taking charge of your life. We have Five of Cups. So the Five of Cups, of course, is a card that's sadness and disappointment. I feel like, you've won some and you lost some, but there is value here. There's value in everything that you've experienced and gone through. It's actually helping to shape and mold you. And it creates that wisdom now that you have. So that's a part of it. It's a part of life. You're not going to have that wisdom just naturally. You're going to build that wisdom, your resume of wisdom, throughout the experiences that you have. And unfortunately, some of those experiences are not going to be pleasant, but they're not supposed to be. That's how you're going to learn. You can only learn through adversity. You learn, if you touch the fire, it burns your hand. Okay, I'm not going to do that again. That's how you learn. So I just feel like that's really what the true value is for you. a lot of emotional experiences, sadness, disappointments, loss that you've gone through is actually helping you to be a stronger, more well-rounded person. So now you kind of know what you want. Now you know where you're at, what you're looking for now moving forward in life. So to me, 5 is like halfway. It's like you're at the halfway point here. And some of you, of course, may be older, so you're just like, oh my gosh, I only have, limited amount of time left. That's not what I mean. I just mean that wherever you're at right now, you can start to make different decisions. Wherever you're at right now, you can start to add more value to your life. You do not have to just, accept mediocrity, whether it's in relationships or work situations. You can start to change that vibe right now. It all starts with you and your own vibration and the choices that you make versus the choices that you don't make. So this to me is about kind of just getting into the driver's seat of your own life, which is why the Emperor is here. Taking control of your destiny and finding a new way if you don't like where you're at right now. So that's very powerful. So it's like the power is within, the power is within. The power is in your experiences and the wisdom. You've learned so much. You have so much value here. Also, coins and objects that you're finding in your path could be messages from your ancestors or your spirit team, so pay attention. This could also be you using some sort of objects as divination, such as charms, runes, just objects, bone casting, etc. So that might be something that you guys want to look into, is you're casting objects. And that's really fun, and it's to me, one of the funnest, most enjoyable forms of divination, because to me, there's no wrong or right way. It's kind of like Oracle. The tarot, it's a system, okay? The 5 of Cups is the 5 of Cups. Yes, you can use some of your intuition, and put a little splash behind it, but Oracle is Oracle. It's intuition. And as far as, charms, you can assign any meaning that is special to you to a charm, and therefore that is your divination system, okay? Runes, again, not so much, because there's a system, but I love those types of divination systems where you can create something and build the magic of your collection, and it's very special to you. So when you use it, when the cat rolls out, what it means to you. So I don't know, maybe some of you guys are kind of interested in, maybe not tarot because it's too involved, or you're just like, it's not really my thing. I'm not really into cards. Charms are great. I used to sell charms. I don't sell them anymore. I'm not on Etsy anymore. So, the whole shipping process and everything just isn't as easy and seamless for me right now. I don't know, maybe down the line if I'll start selling charm kits again. But, you guys can just start building your collection with things that you find, things that are special to you, and assign meaning to them. It's so much fun. Anyways, that's what we have. So now let's go ahead and go into this deck right here. One of my favorite little collections. This is the Everyday Witch Oracle and Tarot. Oh, it's so adorable. It's so adorable because you guys know I love cats, and this deck is full of cats. Okay. We have Speak Your Mind. Ooh, love it. Look at those 2 cats. And what's interesting is that this was the first card that came to mind. Page of Swords. That was the Speak Your Truth, Speak Your Mind. So there is something where maybe you want to give someone a piece of your mind. I did get the message that less is more. Sometimes you don't have to clarify anything with anyone. You can just cut contact off. That speaks volumes. Just no longer be available for those conversations anymore. You don't have to answer a text or even pick up the phone. I think a lot of people have guilt with that. I seriously don't have any issues with that whatsoever, so it's easy for me. But this is just, if you and someone are not on the same page or you're not a match, it's about energy. It's about, sometimes you have to pay attention to that. Sometimes, and sometimes you can speak your mind and the other person will listen. I mean, I've had that happen as well, where you just have a conversation with someone and it's like, wow, we're better off for it. I would probably say half the time no, and half the time I am surprised, like, wow, this is really awesome. I wish that you could just talk things out with everyone, but you just can't. Sometimes people they can't handle it. They don't want to do it. They don't have the tools to do it. So, well, we have Temperance, and I love this Sagittarius energy. I'm getting here less is more. So you have to kind of gauge, is what I'm getting here. You have to gauge what's worth it to you. You don't always have to speak your mind, nor should you always speak your mind. So, yes, it's very empowering to say you should just constantly be your authentic self. Absolutely. But being your authentic self doesn't mean that you have to tell someone what you're really thinking. We do have to be discerning here. We have to make decisions that are balanced, right? So this, we can see she's like very zen, doing this like yoga witch, right? She's just like, she knows who she is. That's the thing. If you know who you are, and someone is looking at you and judging you, and you feel the need that you have to defend yourself, just because you feel that need doesn't mean you don't know who you are, because it's irritating when someone does that. It really is. It's freaking irritating. But you might get to a point where you're just like, I don't give a shit. I don't care what you think. I don't care what you say. It cannot affect me, because you're in this Zen mode here. So to me, this is all about you getting stronger and protecting your energy, and realizing that the trolls of the world, whether they're just people in the workplace, toxic family members or friends, frenemies, or even on social media, you start to get to a point where you're just like, who cares? Who cares? It's none of my business what you think about me. That's on you, man. That is on you. So there's some sort of a kind of knowing what's worth it and what isn't worth it. Yes, there are people in my life where I'm just like, I will fight for those connections. I will fight for those relationships. I will have a conversation. And there are other things in my life where I've just let it go, because it's just either not that important to me, or we're just not on the same page, and you just have to let it go. So this to me is about being discerning again. Discernment is a huge word in today's reading. And that's knowing, having the wisdom to know when to speak, when to take action, and when to kind of hang back and go within. That's what I'm seeing here. Healing waters. Wow. So this watery energy, remember I was getting this watery vibe from Scorpio, and this, of course, this Pisces energy. Now we have the fox. Sometimes people can see the fox as a sneaky animal, right? Somebody who's kind of fox-like, they're trying to, get away with something. So that can be an aspect, like a shadow aspect of the fox here. Look it up. But I feel like what's going on here is that this is about balancing both the shadow and light aspects of ourselves, realizing that not everything that we feel that's heavy and that's intense is bad, right? That's another thing. Some of you are very psychic, sensitive empaths. I know I am. And other people that are not really in touch with their emotions, or they don't feel comfortable with them, or they just see that they're just like, it's weak to have that. They may judge you and say, oh gosh, you're just, you're constantly in your head. You're taking things too personally. Again, you know who you are, you guys. And this is a blessing, right? It's a blessing. And it might also be a blessing for that person that isn't emotional. Like Mr. Moon, he's a freaking Gemini. He's all like Mercury, and he's got like Earth rising. So he's completely opposite of me. I'm all fire, baby. I'm all fire. So I'm all passion. I'm all about, speaking my mind and always just like being super passionate behind everything that I'm thinking, feeling, and doing. He's quite the opposite. But the thing is, he does have his strengths, just like I have my strengths, but he also has his weaknesses, just like I do. So there is no real wrong or right way to be. It's just about you being comfortable with who you are, right? And not allowing other people to shake you down and say, something's wrong with you. What's wrong with you? To me, this is such a powerful image. You know who you are, okay? And this is about making peace with both the shadow aspect of your shadow and light aspects of yourself. So whatever's being revealed to you guys during this very powerful moon, not everything that you're feeling and thinking, try not to demonize it. Try not to judge it. Let it come to you, but let it flow. Let it flow through you, because it's a part of you. Your emotions are a part of you. And this is about using this in a powerful way, using these energies and emotions to transform yourself, maybe even to transform the lives of other people. using what you've learned, using what you've known, using what you've gone through, and inspiring other people for their own healing purposes or to grow, etc. So all those things are really beautiful. We have the Fool. The Fool is about freedom. The Fool is about taking a leap of faith, starting fresh, starting new. So that's just what I feel is happening here. So we did get the fire energy, right? Maybe some of you guys are working with fire and water. Maybe you're burning something up and maybe you have water. You're going to be cleansing yourself after your ritual or something like that. This is going to help carry away all the energy that you were just working with. And that's usually what I do anytime I'm doing any kind of spell work or ritual. I will immediately go into a bath or a shower and I will, cleanse myself, and I will imagine all of the energy that I was holding on to or just whatever I want to get rid of, literally going down the drain. So that can also be a very simple, very cleansing type of ritual. So that's something, but yeah, this is about hitting the reset button. And this is also about being free from restrictions and burdens of fear. What other people think about us, it's no longer holding us back. What somebody's going to say or do, that's no longer going to hold us back. Or we're just afraid that if we jump, then we're going to fail. It's no longer holding us back. So there's a major reset button that's happening here. This one came through reversed. Oh, because the entire deck is reversed. So I'm not going to take it. I was going to say, why is this coming up reversed? It must mean something. Well, that's because I turned my entire deck upside down. So we're not going to give that any kind of significance. It says, give into passion. Hello, love it. Yes. So I was just talking about how I'm like, major fire energy. I got Mercury, Sagittarius. I've got rising Sagittarius. My sun is Sagittarius. I'm Sagittarius all the way, baby. So it's all fire for me. So again, anything that I'm not passionate about, I'm not into. I got to be passionate. This is about people that I love, the things that I love to do, and just my passion and my purpose. So this is about, if you are not feeling something, if you're not really, really feeling something, then why are you still doing it? Why are you still continuing to give something your time and energy if it's not meeting, your passions or your needs? So these are questions to ask ourselves at this particular time. And you can see all these butterflies here. So there is some kind of like getting more into, she's playing an instrument, right? Interesting. I got cry me, like play the violins. How that's like something that people say, like, ooh, get out the violins kind of thing. And that usually indicates somebody who's whining or you're feeling sorry for yourself. What I'm getting here is that it's like, it's time to chuck out the excuses. It's time to chuck out the victim mentality. It's time for you to get into harmony with what really moves you in this life. There's no more excuses is what I'm getting here. There's no more excuses. And we have the High Priestess. Oh, so I feel like some of you guys are really going to be tapping into your psychic energy. This is Pisces right here. Moon energy can also be like Cancer. It's just all very intuitive, feminine energy here. She's sitting here with her crystal ball. She's got some cards out. This cat's even dumping out some freaking runes. I'm telling you, you guys are probably going to be doing something. Maybe it starts now, or this is just something that you're just going to be doing throughout this next season, where you're really going to be working with divination. You're really going to be working with your intuition. You're really going to be working with some sort of tools and tapping into your magical abilities, basically, your witchy side. I love it. So this is going to be very passionate for you. So this is also what I want to say. In the world of social media, or just like being involved in a community where you see a bunch of people doing a bunch of different things, if you see something that someone's doing, you're like, oh my God, that's really cool. That's awesome, right? Let that inspire you, but put your own flair on it. That comes with reading cards or, creating products, etc. So I really like to say that, because that's something that I've always had within me. It's just like that compass where if I see something that I like, instead of just doing that exact thing, I try to put my own spin and my own flair on it. And that makes it mine. So if you guys are seeing things that you really like and you're just like, wow, I want to do that too, put your own spin on it and then do that thing, right? Because there's enough to go around for everyone. There absolutely is. But I'm also getting to that when it comes to certain things that you see other people doing, that doesn't mean it's going to be your thing. Like, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that to be spiritual. I love the looks of crystals, you guys, but I'm not a huge crystal person. I never have been. So I know that I'm not like a crystal witch. I'm not a crystal witch. I have some crystals, but it's not like, they don't speak to me. It's not my passion. I'm not passionate about crystals. They're beautiful, yes, but I'm not passionate about them. But what I am passionate about, I'm passionate about tarot. And I'm passionate about, other things like my divination tools, charms, and also animals. I'm very much into like spirit animals and working with spirits in that way, and many, many other things. But magic and spirituality, it's not cookie cutter. We see these very aesthetically pleasing things on Instagram or TikTok, and we're just like, wow, I'm doing it wrong. You're not doing it wrong. I promise you, you guys, you do not have to have a setup that looks a certain way in order to connect with spirit or to be spiritual or powerful or to have success with your rituals and spells. You do not have to do all that stuff, okay? A lot of that's just for show. So for some reason, I just wanted to tell you guys that you do not have to feel like it has to look a certain way. It doesn't have to look any way. The magic is within you. So I don't know. I just wanted to say that. So this was just, I guess, when we're kind of looking at social media and we're kind of comparing ourselves to other people, we don't need to do that. All right, so let's go ahead and go into this deck right here, which is called the Magical Spell Cards. Let's see if there's anything that Spirit's wanting to bring to our attention as far as ritual and spell work. Ooh, we have energy. Okay, we have the number 13, you guys, and we started off this reading with this banishing energy. We're cleansing, we're cord cutting, we're letting something go. So my stepson's home, or just got home from his shift, you guys, so you're going to hear the door. But anyways, 13 is death. So this kind of like energy. So it can be like psychic energy, vampire energy, something that is affecting your energy, kind of like bleeding you, sucking you dry. This to me is we're cutting off that energy supply. That's what I'm seeing here. So let's go ahead and go into the Tarot of the Owls and see what else this is connected to. Yeah, we have strength. Something is actually weakening you. But the thing is, it doesn't actually have any power over you unless you believe it does. So something, you don't even have to do a spell or a ritual by lighting a candle and doing all this stuff. You can literally just start to backtrack, kind of like back up that car on that driveway and say, oh, hell no, I'm not giving you any more of my energy or my time. This is just a statement. This is just a belief that you can start to reverse. So it doesn't have to be an actual ritual. This is when you change your life, you change, or when you change your mind, you change your life. So it's something as subtle as that, really. But what I'm getting here is that we are getting rid of something. We are getting rid of something. Now we have Leo's energy. Obviously, we're no longer in Leo's season. We're in Virgo season now. But to me, this is just whatever has had a powerful hold over you. It taught you a lot. Obviously, this is now. These are the Owl Tarot. This is the Owl Tarot. But it's taught you a lot, but it's made you a stronger person. So kind of take the energy that way. Don't allow someone that has like maybe done you dirty or done you wrong. Don't allow the energy to be that person they screwed me over. Okay, yes, I get it. They did screw you over, but don't let that be this story forever. You can then turn the story around and say, that person taught me a lot. I'm stronger because of that situation. Do you see the shift there? It's a completely different energy. You can shift the energy at any time is what I'm trying to say. It says, all right, inside my fire divine, energy, feel me, make me shine. So shine from your experiences. Shine from the things that have ended in your life. Try not to hold on to the low vibrational energy of all that pain and torment. Okay? be the phoenix rising from those ashes. We now have prosperity, and that's beautiful because remember we had the coins, abundance. So there's something about us becoming the empress. Look at that beautiful empress on that card. It says, as this tree grows so strong, so fine, so may I prosper from the universal divine. Yes. So what is prosperity? Prosperity is not just physical items, tangible items. This is basically wisdom, love, all of the above. It's anything you want where you can be prosperous. Oh, we have the Six of Cups. So the Six of Cups is the past. The Six of Cups is childhood, being nostalgic, you know, and the way that we look at the past. So again, we can look at the past, you guys, and what's funny is that this is one of the only cards, the Seven of Cups has it too, where it's not full of water, it's full of things. It's full of flowers. Let your past, right? Let your past be colored with experiences that were necessary in order to teach you very valuable lessons. And what I'm getting here is that this is when you're really going to feel that prosperity. You're not going to focus on the losses anymore. You're going to make peace with your past. You're going to be stronger because of your past experiences. You're going to shift the story from victim to survivor, but also thriver. You're shifting the story. You're shifting your theme from victim to survivor to thriver. I don't know why that's just coming to me. I just made it up right now. So it's coming from spirit. That's amazing. I love it. I love it. We have health. And what's interesting is my word today, again, health is connected to Virgo. So there's a reason that this is coming up. We're really taking a look at how we take care of ourselves. Now, it's not just physical health, it's our mental health. It's our emotional well-being. It's our spiritual health, everything. So it says, Mother Earth, sweet, Mother Earth, bright, bring to me your health and might. So we're really focusing on our health at this particular time too. Now, my newsletter for September, so instead of it being in two parts, it's just going to be at the beginning of every single month, and it's going to, go over the new moon and the full moon and all that other stuff. There's some journal prompts. September's newsletter for me, I sat down with it and really pieced out all the different energies, and we got a lot. We got a lot of energy in September, you guys, but one of the main focuses was our health and focusing on Virgo and how we could take better care of ourselves, etc. What routines can we maybe shift or change or adopt? So I feel like this is coming up for a reason as well. We really need to pay attention to our health. We have the Hermit. That's Virgo. That's crazy. So yeah, Virgo's season is really going to bring some illumination to where we need to take better care of ourselves, you guys. Like I said, physical, spiritual, mentally, emotionally, all of the above. And it might even be like we're going to need to take a time out, take some time off. If we've been working super hard, we've been burdening ourselves, etc., we're just freaking exhausted. We're going to find ways to basically just take better care of ourselves and nurture ourselves more than we are. We're going to find ways to do that, you guys. And where is it coming from? It's coming from the wisdom. It's like, if there's something that you're doing, you're just like, yeah, I know I'm working my ass off. Yeah, I know I'm not eating right. Yeah, I know I need to exercise. Look, these things, and it's about, you've got that wisdom that keeps telling you, that keeps nudging you, you've got to change your life. You've got to change your lifestyle, right? So this is about getting disciplined, because Virgo is very disciplined. Getting disciplined and just doing it. No more excuses. Just do it. That's what I'm getting here. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and get one last set of messages and see what else we need to know here. This right here is called the Practical Magic Oracle. Physical strength, holy smokes. Got physical body energy here. Protector. First of all, there is protection around you guys right now. I mean, there always is, but there's like this amplified protection. But there's also a message about protecting yourself. And obviously, if you want to protect your health, you're going to change certain things about either your diet or what you're exposing yourself to in order to protect yourself and keep yourself strong. So again, there is a message about this. This is called the Green Witch Tarot. She's holding a snake. That's really interesting. She's holding a snake. Protect yourself from snakes. Snakes in your life. Snakes, people that have burned you, people that have bit you. Six of Pentacles is one of those cards where it's, you give, I give. We're both benefiting. If there are people or situations in your life where you just keep getting bit over and over and over again, these people got to go. You got to protect yourself from these people. And I'm getting here, you know who these people are, or this person is, or this thing is that's toxic for you. You've got to get rid of it. You got to be done with it. You absolutely have to be done with this because it is now affecting your health on all levels, actually, and it's weakening you. Something is, but again, what I want you guys to know is that this is a choice. You're allowing something to have power over you. You do not have to make that decision or that choice anymore. You can make a more empowering decision and choose to go from, okay, Indy is confirming this message for us with his little meowing. But anyways, this is just about knowing that you can make the switch today. Literally, this person just no longer has power over me. I'm no longer going to pull up in their driveway. I'm no longer going to call them. I'm no longer going to answer their text. I'm no longer going to be in the same vicinity as them. These are all choices that we can make to cut off the energy supply. Channel your anger. I love this. Remember, I was talking about, yes, things have happened. You've had some disappointments, but this is about channeling that rage and channeling your anger, learning from this, letting it inspire you, letting it motivate you to live a different, more empowered life. So this is about changing that label from victim to survivor to thriver. I love that. And that is how you're going to channel all these things that have happened to you. Trials is the key word. It just means that you had to go through a certain amount of trials in order to get to a particular destination. I know that I've had to get fucked over in my life so many times to finally go, oh my God, I am so done with this lesson. I get it now. Thank you. Thank you, Spirit. I finally have graduated. This is amazing. So sometimes we got to go through a lot of shit before we get it. The Wheel of the Year. Love it. Wheel of Fortune. This is about your destiny and luck. It's about ready to change. I think that's it. Looks like an eagle to me, or maybe a hawk, whatever. Doesn't matter. To me, this is about being being the king of the sky, like the world is yours. This means you can change the wheel at any time. You can change this time in your life. You can go in a new direction. Your fate, your destiny is calling you. This is also about karmic cycles coming to a close as well. I'm pretty sure I was reading about something, how Jupiter was going to be going in retrograde. I'm not real I love astrology, you guys. I'm real interested in it, but I'm not real seasoned or educated on it. So, but I feel like retrograde is supposed to go into, Jupiter's supposed to go into retrograde. And so sometimes when that happens, people can feel like, maybe they're unlucky or something like that. What I'm getting is just because there's a retrograde doesn't mean that it rules you or that it has any kind of power over you. You can choose to align with that thought process. You can choose to align with that vibration. But I do not feel just because something is in retrograde that you're not going to experience luck or that you're not going to be able to change things around for the better. I just feel like some of you guys, it's your time. It's your turn to turn the wheel in your favor. But you have to channel your anger first and choose to no longer let something control your life in a negative way. All right, let's get one last message for the road. Oh, we have be kind, charming. Look at that little rabbit. It's so beautiful. So I'm born in the year of the rabbit in Chinese astrology. I'm just like, oh, it's so kind. It's so gentle. And it's not that I'm not kind, but I'm definitely not really gentle. So it's just funny because Sagittarius is very fiery and passionate. But in Chinese astrology, it's like soft and this cute little bunny. But I kind of feel like, there's aspects to everyone. There's the dark and the light. And, it's about being able to go in between. Sometimes it's hard to be kind. Sometimes it's hard to be soft. And sometimes when we're too soft, we can be taken advantage of. So again, this is about being balanced, I feel. Sometimes in the spiritual community, we're told, you have to forgive that person. Well, let me see. When somebody screws you over and they hurt you so badly and they're narcissistic or toxic or sociopaths or whatever, like I get it. Like you don't want to drink that poison forever. You don't want to hold on to that poison because then you're not going to be able to move forward and thrive. So that's, I feel like what people mean. But sometimes in the spiritual community, there's like that shaming that if you're not a nice, kind person to everyone, that's just not good. And I feel like sometimes you have to, with certain people, you have to be very cutthroat. And you have to put up boundaries. And sometimes people can call you unkind, but you know that you have to protect yourself. And sometimes that can be, it can feel unkind. So kindness doesn't look the same all the time. Sometimes the kindest thing that you can actually do, you guys, is to not engage with someone. And they might see that as, this person is rejecting me, you're cruel, you're not giving me closure. It's not always your responsibility to give people closure. But sometimes the kindest thing that you can do is to do nothing. To do nothing, right? Sometimes that's the kindest act, is to step away from someone, especially people that you love. But they keep doing things over and over again that are toxic, that are creating a lot of issues and problems. It's like that show Intervention. I'm letting you know that if you keep using, then you're not going to have me in your life. Sometimes that's the kindest thing that you can do in order to help people face whatever they need to face and ultimately heal. So I feel like there's maybe a situation in your guys' life where you feel guilty, like, well, I have to be there for that person. Maybe the more kind thing to do is to step away and to release yourself and the both of you from a toxic cycle. I've had to do that before, and it's really, really hard. It's really, really difficult. And it doesn't mean that the love that you have for that person goes away. It doesn't. It's just that you realize that it just cannot be right now or at all in this particular lifetime. So you have to let it go. We have the Four of Swords. Yeah, the Four of Swords is withdraw. That's what I'm getting here. That was the message. Sometimes it's kind. You have to be kind and gentle. The gentle approach might just be less is more, actually. Less is more. You don't even have to explain yourself either. A lot of people will try to make you feel guilty, like you have to talk to me. No, I don't. No, I don't. Who says who? Says you? No. Because that can sometimes be dangerous and sometimes outright toxic and create a less kind vibe. So sometimes the kinder thing to do is to protect yourself and say, no more. I'm protecting you. I'm protecting me. You're saying it to yourself. And this feels more tranquil to me to not be a part of this situation, a part of this life, a part of this behavior anymore. I need to start focusing on how I treat myself. And if I'm not at peace, then the world around me is not going to be at peace. So I need to do the kind thing for myself and take some time for me. So don't allow people. And the thing is, what I want to say, you guys, is that I'm thinking of a situation in my mind where somebody wanted to pull away. And This was many, many, many years ago. They wanted to pull away, and I took it really personally. I just did. And there were some things that they said that led me to believe at that time that there was some sort of a personal issue with me reading tarot cards, that it was evil. Like literally these were things that were said. So I just kind of assumed like that's why this person's pulling away. But at the same time, maybe that person was pulling away because they were going through some sort of mental crisis. But I took it very personally. They're pulling away from me because they think I'm evil. And that could have been the case. But the thing is, maybe that was the kindest way for them to say, thanks, but no thanks. We're not a match. Do you see what I'm saying? And so even though I viewed that as, oh, this person's just judgmental and they're demonizing me and that's why they don't want me in their life. Actually, maybe that was the kinder thing to do, to just kind of slowly pull away and not say a lot. Maybe that was the more kinder thing to do. So we don't always understand why people do what they do. And sometimes it isn't kind. And sometimes we do the same and it might not be seen as kind. It might be misunderstood. But at the end of the day, what I want to say with this final message is that this is your world, really. And everyone else is just living in it. And I'm not saying that in a selfish way. But if you're not happy and you're not at peace, then everything in your life is going to be affected by that vibration. So life is too short to try to do what other people want you to do, or to force yourself to be in situations with people because you feel bad or because you're afraid of what they're going to say or how they're going to judge you because you decided that you just don't want to be a part of that anymore. You have to get to a point where you just let go of that. You'll be much freer and you'll feel much more at peace. And I just feel like that's the kindest thing that you can do for yourself and other people. And if other people don't see it as such, it's on them to see it their way. It's really not your responsibility. So I know it sounds kind of harsh, but that's that final message here. So anyways, you guys, I really hope that you enjoyed these messages. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. And I hope that you guys have a wonderful full moon experience this evening. And I will catch you guys, I think, on the weekend for another reading. All right, take care. Bye-bye.